Well, good evening. It is time again for Gethsemane Church's 7 at 7. We do this because we love you. And one of the things that we just started a new sermon series, and John, Sunday morning, man, preached a fireball message. It was awesome. I've listened to it now about 8 times. I would have listened to it more than that, but I didn't drive to work today, so I didn't get a chance to listen to it today. And man, I'll tell you, that message is awesome. And if you haven't listened to it, or if you don't settle for just one time listening to that message, because I'm telling you, man, you'll get so much out of it. The more you listen to it, the more you're going to get out of it. So I just encourage you right now to do that. Hey, John. One of the things that John talked about at the very last part of the sermon was about royalty bowing down. Where he listened to a message from Chuck Swindoll, and Chuck Swindoll, in the message, it said he talked about grace in the Hebrew, where it talks about to stoop down. And man, that really struck a chord in me. I tell you, it really, really did. And I thought about, when did Jesus stoop down? You know, when we think about royalty and we talk about God doing it, but man, Jesus demonstrated the Father's heart. And when we look at this, we got to realize that, man, he did what the Father did. He portrayed the Father to us. So that is just so awesome that he did that. But Jesus made this statement to the disciples in John chapter 15. It says, "My command is this, love each other as I have loved you." And then he says, "Greater love has no one than to lay down one's life for one's friends." And and then he makes this next statement. He said, "You are my friends." Oh man, think about that. Not only did he says, "Greater love has no one than to lay down one's life for his friends." You are my friends. So what he was getting to tell them, what he was demonstrating to them, he said, "I'm going to lay my life down for you. I'm going to be sin for you. I'm going to take on everything that you deserve, so you can take on everything that I offer, so that you can become everything that I offer." Oh man, think about this. Here's Jesus. You don't get any lower than to lay down your life for your friends. And that's what he did. He laid down. In other words, he humbled himself and laid down. In other words, what he was saying is, I'm going to take on sickness for you. I'm going to take on disease. I'm going to take on depression. I'm going to take on poverty. I'm going to take all this on and gain the victory over it, so you can live in the victory of what I did for you. And John said this. He said, we can't do it in ourselves. And that's right. We cannot do this in ourselves. We do not have the ability. We do not have the power to actually do this for ourselves. Hi, Shirley, Miss Dana, how you guys doing tonight? We do not have the ability in ourselves to do it. But grace empowers us to live this way. And here's Jesus demonstrating grace for us when he said, I'm going to lay down my life for you. He said, it says in verse 15, it says, "I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything that I learned from my Father, I have made known to you." And in the Mirror translation, in verse 14, it says, "Our friendship is endorsed in your continual engagement in the conclusion of my mission." In your continual engagement in the conclusion of my mission. Think about that. We get engaged with what he's already done for us. We hook up to it. We engage, and when we're engaged, we get the power from what he did for us. Oh man, to me that is awesome. Now think about this. Here's another instance of Jesus' royalty bowing down to us. When Jesus washed his disciples' feet. Oh man, it's kind of overwhelming to me, because I've washed somebody's feet before, and you have to stoop down to do that. He didn't put his feet up in the air for me so I could watch them. That'd look pretty goofy anyway. But I had to bow down to wash another man's feet. Here's Jesus. He gets up in chapter 13 of John. He gets up from the dinner table, wraps an outer garment around him, takes off his clothes, wraps an outer garment around him, and he begins to wash his disciples' feet. And then he came to Simon Peter, and Simon Peter said to him, "Are you going to wash my feet?" And Jesus said, you don't realize now what I'm doing, but you're going to understand later on. And I'm paraphrasing. But Peter goes, no, you're not going to wash my feet. And Jesus said, unless I wash you, you have no part with me. Man, that's grace. Jesus saying, unless I lay my life down for you and you receive that, you have no part of it. See, man, I mean, think about it. Here's Jesus. He's washing his disciples' feet. Peter's trying to refrain him from doing it. And Jesus told him, said, if I don't do this, no one can. If I don't do this, you have no part with me. If Jesus hadn't bowed down and laid down his life, we would not have any part of him. But it all goes back to us receiving what's been done for us. Man, I mean, he laid down his life. He did it so that we could receive everything that he accomplished at Calvary. The finished work, healing, victory over sickness and disease, victory over sin, victory over depression, victory over poverty, victory in every area of your life. And grace has provided it. And think about it. The devil is relentless in what he tries to do to people. He doesn't back down. I'm telling you, he'll repeat something to you over and over and over and over again. He's relentless because he's trying to get you to give in to him. But grace, the grace of God is more relentless than what the devil has in store for us. And the grace of God is more than able, is sufficient to overcome every circumstance and every situation in your life, because Jesus gained the victory at Calvary when he laid down his life for us. And that's why he said it's finished. And now we're supposed to do the same thing for the people around us, for our brothers and sisters in Christ, for the people of the world. We're to lay down and demonstrate grace to them because it's been given to us. And we get to operate in that grace. We get to live in that grace. And it's been made available to us because of what Jesus did, not because of our own merit. We can't do it. We couldn't accomplish it. There's no way. We would have fallen short every time. But Jesus did it for us. And he laid down his life. There's other instances in the Bible where it shows where, think about when he stooped down and wrote in the ground with the woman who had been caught in adultery. Jesus looked at her and he said, where are your accusers, after he got up? And he said, neither do I condemn you. He didn't come to condemn. He came to save and to provide the grace for you to live out the life that God has always intended for you to live. Well, I love you. My time is up. God bless you. I thank you for joining everyone. God bless you.